Gooey Buttercake is a regional dessert that originated in St. Louis, where it mostly stays within its city. But I'd like to serve it out to the rest of the country, not as a quick throw-together cake using boxed cake mix, rather as a classy, more traditionally Germanic, from-scratch version. One that focuses on quality ingredients and the further development of flavor through spices and sourdough. To get a better understanding of what we're working with, let's visually break down this cake. Along the bottom, we have a soft yeasted dough, and on top of that, we have a very buttery, vanilla-flavored layer that enriches the dough below it with sweetness, topped by a dusting of powdered sugar. It's comforting and rich, making it great for cozy gatherings. However, on the sourdough side of things, we run into a dilemma, since the filling isn't yeasted, yet contains flour as a thickener. To fix this, we'll start by making some cultured flour. Take 150 grams of white flour, 50 grams of sourdough starter, and 100 milliliters of water, and without overmixing, stir them together. Leave this in a covered bowl at room temp for 12 to 24 hours before baking it at 325 for 30 minutes. Let it cool off, then cut it into small pieces, returning it to the oven where it can dry. Once dry and crunchy, it can be blended and sifted for our finished cultured flour. With that out of the way, we can start on the cake itself, beginning with the yeasted layer. Warm 140 grams of whole milk to 100 degrees Fahrenheit before dissolving 50 grams of sugar into it. This is what will feed the yeast, which is what we'll do now in two ways, that being 6 grams of active dry yeast and 20 grams of sourdough starter. Give all these a good whisk, then set it aside to bloom. For the dry ingredients, blend together 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 6 grams sea salt, and for a subtle, pleasant flavor, 3 grams of chamomile flowers, which I ground in a mortar and sifted. By now, the yeast should have formed a bubbly cloud upon the milk. To this pan, add 3 eggs, and give that a good whisk before pouring it into your dry ingredients. Mix this together either by hand or machine till it forms a cohesive dough, giving us the sign to pour in warm, not hot, melted butter, a whole 60 grams worth. Using a spoon, knead this until it looks smooth. Since this needs time to ferment, cover it with plastic wrap and refrigerate it for at least 12 to 16 hours. In the fridge, the yeast will slowly break down the sugar and starch while growing and adding air and flavor. Now that the dough has had time to ferment, let's take it out of the fridge and spread it in the bottom of a parchment-lined 9x13 glass dish, where it should be left to proof until doubled in size. Meanwhile, we can tackle the gooey filling. To the bowl of your stand mixer, add 225 grams of softened cream cheese and 100 grams of softened butter. Have your machine beat these together with a paddle until the texture is creamy. At this point, incorporate 8 grams of vanilla extract, 20 grams honey, 10 grams molasses, and 444 grams of powdered sugar. I suggest using a spoon to combine these before having the machine work it, so as to moisten the sugar, preventing it from flying away when the mixer starts. Let this cream together until it looks fluffy. This will be a sign to add in 2 room temperature eggs, one at a time. In a small bowl, whisk together 75 grams of cultured flour, 20 grams of cornstarch, 2 grams of sea salt, and 2 grams of mesquite powder, which will add some nice toasted flavor to this. After whisking, pour these dry ingredients into the bowl with the wet ingredients, and mix this just until it's combined. We return to our now risen dough, which we can top with its filling, making sure to spread it around evenly with a spatula before baking it in a 350-degree preheated oven for 30 to 40 minutes. The top will develop a bit of film that will toast in patches, creating a buttery sweet smell that will glide into every inch of your kitchen. Aside from eating this cake, this has to be the best thing about making it. This cake is now beautifully done and should be left to cool down a bit. That way the hot oils can stabilize for a better looking slice, although a piece of this tastes divine being slightly warm. There is one last step before serving this. A light snowfall of powdered sugar. It certainly doesn't need it any more sweetness, but it makes this St. Louisian beauty carry more grace. Cut this into 12 pieces and plate them up all pretty like. Now, let's dig in. First of all, the smell is really, really nice. It's very mellow, has a lot of soft tones to it, has that butter, but it's not like as strong as making croissants would be. Yeah, it smells so good, but let's give it a taste. It is so comforting. Like, imagine being hugged by your food, and you'd probably get this. Like, yes, it's a lot of calories. It is sweet. I think there's some stuff in it that kind of cuts back on that. I mean, it is, obviously, it's very sweet, but it's not sickening. I guess that's what I'm getting at. It has like so many different like nice textures of like crunchy, gooey, soft, just like very pillowy, like the dough, the yeasted dough we made for the bottom. Like it's very, very soft. And it just kind of absorbs some of that butter leaking down from the top. It's just really, really good. You don't really taste any of the sourdough flavors. There's no sourness to this at all. It just has some depth to it, but it's not sour. So yeah, I hope you make this and I hope you have a good day. I'm going to finish this piece and maybe have another.